Tranquila, ya no llores, ¿sí? Mamá va a regresar, solo se fue el trabajo.
¿Me lo prometes? ¡Me lo prometes, papá!
Mi amor, no te puedo prometer eso. Te digo que sí, que voy a estar contigo, ¿sí?
The change that I was expecting from the president himself, I don't feel in my everyday life, which is concerning to me. I still feel, obviously, that, prices are very, very, very high. If you're going to the grocery store or just in general, because inflation still exists. Unfortunately, now we have the higher gas prices, which really hurt, everyday people in their pocket. And I've voted my entire life. And the frustration right now is, it's just unbelievable because what really changes? I just feel like that we're kind of, kind of steering the ship in the same direction.
Somebody to tell me they're lying right now because of what the do you mean that I'm not going to get my SNAP benefits? What the do you mean?
We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward.
Beyond betrayed. They used us during the campaign. The elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
I mean, you're an educator. You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds.
No,
here.
I did not vote for that. I do not think that's what the voters want. If we have federal cuts, then that's going to mean bigger classroom sizes. I would lose teachers, first and foremost. It's devastating.
Our man-child of a president who today again woke up, you're right, with another tantrum and was able to double down on the sentiment that has been true every day that he's been there. Is he does not give a rat's ass about Americans, about the cost of living, about whether we're able to afford it. And we know now there's a consistent theme. He could care less. That's what he continues to communicate to us in no uncertain terms, is that he could care less. And so on a day where he could have done the honorable thing, to honor the work that's been done here, to actually think for just one day about the American people and what it would take for them to live and to afford the cost of housing, and he once again failed us. He has failed us again and again. The betrayal is so deep and so rich. While he and all of his friends are in their continuing smash and grab, where they have loot hanging all out of their pockets, he has enriched himself, enriched his family, enriched his friends, and can't do a damn thing for the American people and could care less.
We have some major news right now. A Republican governor from Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt, who's a major Trump supporter, is coming out and breaking from the president, blasting the decision to send in the Texas National Guard into Chicago, calling it a violation of states' rights, a violation of the United States Constitution. Now, Stitt does support the overall crime crackdown that the Trump administration is engaging in. But what he doesn't support is sending in the Texas National Guard to Illinois, essentially saying, well, Oklahoma residents would not support, under a Biden administration, J.B. Pritzker sending the Illinois Guard to Oklahoma. And I think this is a pretty significant development because for the first time, a Trump-supporting governor is coming out and saying, hold up, what we're seeing right now is not constitutional. It's not okay. And also comes as Marjorie Taylor Greene is blasting her own party in Congress over the government shutdown. So there are a lot of cracks emerging right now. Spread the word. Subscribe to my Substack at the link in my bio to support my work. And as always, follow along, stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about.
They literally cut my food stamp card off. Zero balance. They took everything. So I told my husband, and he says to me, as I'm crying, and he says to me, well, maybe I'll lose some weight now. God, why did I vote for him? I didn't know this was going to happen. I can't go get a job. Is there anybody out there that can help me, please?
Well, what do we have here? Not the brunette sister of the Princess Bride albino crying about food stamps. I'm even gonna skip past your husband's toxic energy. Talk about the fact you can't just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I did manage to go through this creator's account, and boy, honey, you are on TikTok a lot. There are so many reposts. You know what you could do with all that time if you stop being on TikTok? You'd probably get a job. What's crazy about this algorithm is that sometimes you end up on the wrong side of TikTok, and you weren't on our side of TikTok where we were telling you Donald Trump does not care about poor people. Asking for help is wild. You have over 100,000 followers somehow on this account, so you're monetizing this content. You know what you're doing. This is giving, well, this is actually giving exactly the people that Donald Trump wants to cut off, the people who want handouts. Meanwhile, there's immigrants and people that are working hard to contribute to this country, but no, you just want to be able to stay at home. You know what? I send you my concepts of thoughts and prayers, and I guess also concepts of food stamps. And also, dump your husband.
I was just walking down the street to go get my medication because I'm out and I need it for today. And I saw a woman walking her 2 kids, and she had this look on her face. And I looked at her, we made eye contact, and we both kind of nodded. Like we were both just devastated. And you could just tell in her eyes. I can't believe this country did this again. Why did I let myself have hope?
As somebody who lives in a red state, let me just tell you what MAGA supermajorities get you. We're 50th in education, the worst in the whole country for women to live. We're poorer, worst health care. And if you look at the bottom 10 states in the United States of America, they are all MAGA supermajorities. These policies hurt people. They use people's faith to lure them in and say, oh, we're family values, but then they don't vote to help women have children. They don't vote for health care. They don't vote for child care. They demean the poor. I live in a red state where these policies, Oklahoma, and these policies have horrifically impacted people in rural America that vote for this very party because they weaponize their faith and lure them in.
So you guys need to sit down for this and hear what happened in Oklahoma. And let me tell you, Republicans want us dirt poor. They want us poor. This is the clearest evidence yet. So last week, people in Oklahoma got to go out and vote on a single issue, a ballot initiative to increase the minimum wage from rock bottom, $7.25 to $12 an hour. And over the next 4 years, it would steadily increase to $15 an hour. All still considered poverty wages with today's cost of living and inflation. And it lost 55% to 45%. Now that's a separate conversation, how the people of Oklahoma could vote against their own best interests. But we need to talk about the lengths Republicans went to keep Oklahomans poor, to keep them poor. So they got enough signatures in 2024 to make it on the ballot in 2024 when we were all turning out to vote for the presidential election. Record-breaking turnout. Republicans knew that. They knew if there was a record-breaking turnout, this ballot initiative would pass overwhelmingly. So what did Republicans do? They had Governor Stitt sign an executive order pushing the election for this ballot initiative a year and a half into the future, meaning last week, when voter turnout would be historically low. They didn't even have this on a primary election with a whole lot of other elections going on. This was like a standalone vote. So who turned out to vote? MAGA Republicans in rural areas. And it failed. Now, I want you to hear what the Republicans had to say about this. The Republican State Chamber applauded Oklahoma voters for rejecting this ballot initiative. Tonight, voters chose to protect Oklahoma's economic momentum and one of our greatest competitive advantages, affordability. Oklahoma ranks number 8 in poverty rates. It's the 8th poorest state in the country. Nearly 20% of those in Oklahoma are on food stamps, meaning you and I in blue states are funding them because their Republicans won't allow them to get paid more per hour so they don't have to be on food stamps. 12% of people living in Oklahoma cannot afford health care. They're uninsured. And get this, the tax inequality ranking, they rank 16th in terms of taxing poor people more and taxing wealthy people the least, meaning Republicans were more than happy to get behind giving rich people more money and not the working class. In Oklahoma, I want you to hear something else. Because of the Republican shenanigans, because the ballot initiative was worded so it could be on the ballot in 2024, the language was finalized in 2024, but it caused confusion in voters last week because it said it was asking voters to increase the minimum wage starting in 2025, and it caused confusion. This is over the top. Republicans literally are stumbling over each other to make sure people stay poor. There you go.
Trump, you orange shit-stained piece of shit. I blame you for this fucking loss. The whole fucking world hates us. You had to get involved in it. Everything you fucking touch goes to absolute fucking shit. And now we just got obliterated in front of the fucking whole world after you put your whole orange, fat ass right in the middle of this fucking World Cup. Like everything else you touch, it went to fucking shit. Your narcissistic ass couldn't just stay out of it. Keep politics out of sports, this motherfucker screamed for years just to put his fat orange shit-stained ass right in the middle of every fucking thing we do in this country. I'm so sick of your bitch ass. Gosh damn. I mean, we was obviously outclassed tonight as it was, but I don't think it helped giving Belgium more motivation by getting involved with your corrupt fucking ass. FIFA's corrupt, you're corrupt, this whole fucking thing is a joke, and we still got 2.5 more years of your bitch ass. I fucking hate it here.
Is there any way in which your life has gotten better during this second Trump administration?
No. Not at all. No, absolutely not. I have nothing.
I don't know how to answer that one.
Have you seen any way in which your life has gotten better during this second Trump presidency?
No, not at all. In any aspect, no.
Has it gotten worse?
Yeah, everything as far as economy, so much worse. Everything harder to pay for, and just, I would say like society too, you know, a lot more tension than there was, you know, a few years ago. But I feel like that's being, the flames are being fanned a little bit more by the administration.
Since President Trump has become president the second time in a second term, can you guys name one way in which your life has gotten better?
I don't know if this has affected me personally, but like overall, like economic things when it comes to like the actual government, I think has like been able to be a little bit more stabilized, but I don't know about like me personally.
I mean, I feel like I don't pay attention too much to all like the specifics of everything, but I think it hasn't gotten necessarily worse, so that's a good thing.
So Senator Mark Wayne Mullins posted this picture on X saying, "God bless the great state of Oklahoma," because, you know, every county, as you can see, voted for Donald Trump. So because of that, let's compare two states that voted unanimously, one being Oklahoma, that he said was this great state because they voted for Trump, and the other one being Massachusetts. First, let's compare Oklahoma. 44th in education, wow, 49th in healthcare, 44th in quality of life, and 50th in test scores. Top 10 worst in poverty. Wow, seems like a great state to live in. Next we have Massachusetts. First in education, second in healthcare, first in quality of life, and first in test scores. Top 10 least in poverty. Seems like a pretty terrible state, honestly. I don't care about any of these stats right here. I don't want any of this. I just want a terrible life and to be in a cult and to hate immigrants at the same time, and just brown people in general. I'll take Oklahoma.
They have won the election, but for many families, the risk test is happening at the check-out counter. Across Oklahoma, many MAGA voters are having the conversation about the economy, which is growing louder as residents grapple with the rising cost of grocery, fuel, housing, and other everyday expenses. Some voters who supported President Donald Trump says they are questioning whether recent policy changes will improve their financial situation. while others argue it's too early to judge that long-term economic reform that take time to deliver a result. Whatever side of the debate people are on, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. When household budgets are stretched, politics become personal. Families are not focused on headlines, they are focused on paying bills, keeping food on the table, and planning for the future. That's why discussions about taxes, trade, inflation, and jobs have become some of the most closely watched issues in America today. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think America will begin to feel the benefit of current economic policies, or do you believe more changes are needed to ease the cost of living pressure facing families today? Because many Oklahoma MAGA voters cannot bear the situation any longer and are voicing out, even to the extent that some of them are bursting into tears. I would like to hear your perspective on this.